Why didn't Prince Harry honour King Charles on Father's Day? And why not a squeak out of Meghan Markle about her father, Thomas? Plus, the Beckham meltdown worsens as Britain's second royal family face a tragic split. And Oscar-winning actress Gwyneth Paltrow cooks topless in the kitchen. What if the oil splashes? I've got the inside story. But first, the Cold War between Prince Harry and Prince William continued apace this past weekend. Now, Prince William, the next in line to the throne, poses for a beautiful photograph with the children on Father's Day. His three fabulous children, George, Charlotte, and Louis. The image was dignified, touching, discreet, respectful, minimal, appropriate, stately, and professional. In a word, it was royal. Meanwhile, the Markles of Montecito post an attention-grabbing, trashy video in what amounts to a 1-minute, 15 seconds festival of oversharing. Now, the timing of this video, clearly organised and administered by Meghan Markle, who controls every aspect of their lives, will really shock you. The timing was outrageous because this late in the day, 11th hour video release at the tail end of Father's Day in the UK was a direct response to the Prince William post. So this is another example of the battle of attrition being played out between Team Wales and Team Sussex, although of course it's Team Sussex who are the aggressors. So let's take a look at the video of Harry, the message of which is that he's a far better father than William. Lovely sunny day in California. How lucky are they? Off he goes with what looks like Archie, but who knows? There he is in his casual gear, embracing his son. There's the son in the back of the car, feeling a little car sick. Time for a dip in the sea. I mean, there is nothing that this couple will not share about their offspring on an aeroplane, in the water, playing around with a horse. I mean, seriously, that's not a proper horse. They need to go to Horse Guards Parade for that. We've got a waterfall. We're on a swing. Oh, look, Harry's teaching his son to read. I didn't know that Harry could read. He certainly can't write. He didn't write spare. There you go, another of the kids, carefully disguised with their back to the camera, because of course the couple decide when and when not to show their kids off to the world, but they're so worried about social media, but advertise their kids on the internet, make it make sense. We're going up the steps now in what looks like their Montecito garden, where of course Meghan's vegetables are fresh and in season every day and completely clean. Archie on a bicycle. On your bike, Harry, do us a favour, clear off. There you go. Look, these guys live in absolute luxury. But that was the ego fest that was the video posted by Meghan Markle. Now, the timing of this is absolutely extraordinary because it was released minutes before midnight in the UK. So it was Father's Day in America and Father's Day in the United Kingdom. But it was almost midnight in Harry's home country of Britain. So therefore it was an afterthought, and it's the view of the Mark Dolan show that this video was hastily put together as a response to the very dignified post from the Waleses. Because of course, anything that Catherine can do, Meghan can do better, because Meghan is pathologically competitive. But what an insult to Harry, because the United Kingdom is his place of birth. It's his home, in a sense. It will always be home, won't it? My parents are Irish, so Ireland is home for them, even though they've lived in the United Kingdom for decades. So Britain is home, and yet he gets no recognition for Father's Day in his home country until about 2 minutes to midnight, demonstrating that Meghan was there on her MacBook Pro, desperately editing this video to make sure that she could get it out before that deadline. But that's a bit like birthdays. Have you noticed how if someone sends you a birthday message, you expect to have it in the morning, lunchtime, early afternoon? It's rude if someone wishes you a happy birthday at 1 minute to midnight. They've forgotten, haven't they? And they were just kind of going off to sleep and they thought, oh no, I forgot so-and-so's birthday. Yes, it's better than no birthday message, but it demonstrates that you're not on their mind. And that's the same for Harry, because you had hours and hours of Father's Day in the UK where there was a deafening silence about this guy and what kind of father he is. And that's because he's a second-class citizen in his own house. So the timing was horrible, clearly a response to William's wonderful post. And I've got to say, I thought that the video was so cheesy. It was actually like a Hollywood movie. We know that everything that Meghan does is fake. She's a fake person with a fake smile. The TV series With Love Meghan was all scripted and edited, although it couldn't disguise her vicious nature. Don't you know? I'm not Meghan Markle anymore. I'm Meghan Sazak. But it was so cheesy. It was so obnoxious. And here's the thing, right? I've got no problem with family members filming things. This is my smartphone. There are lots of happy memories of my two sons, Elton and Bernie, on here, and Mrs. Dolan looking fabulous as always. We all make photographs and videos of our family. That's the wonderful thing about this modern technology. That's fine. I've got no problem with the Markles of Montecito doing that. But, of course, that's if it was private. Meghan has been filming everything because she has a bigger plan, which is global domination, which is to leverage the kids to boost her brands, to make money, to become more famous, to have a massive social media footprint. And now we've seen that with regard to these intimate moments between Harry and his kids. Now, clearly he loves his kids, right? I will not take that away from him. And by the way, I'm sure the kids are charming. Archie and Lily, it's not their fault that their parents are the Duke and Duchess of double standards. I wish them the best. And as they get older, I'll be very positive about them because they're a pair of kids. What are they going to do? It's not none of this is their fault. I'm horrified that big life choices are being made on their behalf at the age of 4 and 6. And they're being splashed all over the internet, but that's another story. But there is a plan here. These are not private videos if they're then released to the world. So much detail, so much information, too much information. And that's because this couple have no dignity. It's the same with the trip to Disneyland. There was no reason to post that. It was Lily's 4th birthday. If they wanted, they could have a smiling picture of her saying, "Happy birthday, Lily, we love you." But oh no, we've got to have videos of Lily in the Wonder Kingdom, the magical world of Walt Disney, which is nearly as fictional as Meghan Markle's world. There was no reason to post that. And then, of course, the truly egregious twerking video in the maternity ward with Lily on the way and her mother in a very indiscreet way wiggling her posterior in the air and throwing moves, thinking she's Beyonce. She's not Beyonce. Meghan is not Beyonce. She's no dancer. She's no actress. She's no TV host. And I think she's a pretty awful wife because, can I tell you, the message on this post, this 11th hour post, done in haste on CapCut Pro, the editing software of the Mark Dolan Show, you're welcome. Do you want to know the message? She wrote, this is about her husband Harry and the father of her children, we assume. And she said, the best. Okay, that's fine. It's nice to be called the best, isn't it? The best. To our favourite guy. Happy Father's Day to our favourite guy. What kind of remark is that to make to your husband and the father of your children, hopefully? To our favourite guy. What is he, the gardener? What is he, Big Al that drinks down in the local bar? Our favourite guy. Is this the guy that puts the groceries in your bag at the Whole Foods? Our favourite guy. This is the son of King Charles, the leader of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. Our favourite guy. That is flippant, it is dismissive, it's obnoxious, and it's classic Meghan because it belittles him, and that's what she's doing. She's putting him down. He's been completely emasculated. He's not a man anymore. He's a mouse living in that underground layer, in that deep basement, in the subterranean territory that is the Montecito mansion, and just every couple of days a bucket gets lowered down and it's a Wendy burger. We love the Wendy's. Harry loves the Wendy. He gets the Baconator. Seriously, it's so shocking to see what that woman has done to Prince Harry. And yet, can I just compare and contrast? So we've got to the best, right? Happy Father's Day to our favourite guy. Just so insulting. What is he, like the road sweeper or something? A municipal worker? Is this the guy that sort of scoops the dead insects out of the pool at their $20 million mansion? Is this the guy that has to unplug and empty blocked drains from one of their 16 bathrooms in their Montecito mansion? Our favourite guy. I mean, it's just, we don't even really have the language of a relationship there, such as husband or father. I mean, yeah, she says Happy Father's Day, but our favourite guy? Would you say that about your father? Our favourite guy? No, the most amazing man on the planet. Yes, absolutely. like my dear father, Seamus Gabriel Dolan, who sadly is no longer with us, and an amazing man, intelligent, caring, brave, fierce, loyal, hilarious, talented, entrepreneurial. He ran a pub for decades and decades and decades in North London with tens of thousands of happy customers. It was an amazing community. My love of people comes from growing up above a public house in North London. And humanity is the most wonderful thing. It's the greatest gift. And my father taught me that. He taught me to always have time for people, that everyone's equal, everyone's special, give everyone respect. And that was, that is my life motto. And so my dear dad, let me wish him a very happy Father's Day, even though he sadly passed up there in heaven, having 1 or 2 pints of Guinness, I would have thought. And I would imagine up in heaven, they pour the Guinness properly, where it goes 3/4 and they let it rest for a minute or two and then top it up. And my father, as a former landlord, would insist on that. So look, love my dad, but I would not call him our favorite guy or my favorite guy. My father wasn't some guy. This was my father, and it's your father is not some guy, is it? It's your father, our favorite guy. Anyway, sorry, but I am quite furious about it. Meanwhile, can I just read the William message? And this is from the official Instagram account of the Prince and Princess of Wales. And it reads, Happy Father's Day, Papa. Just gorgeous. Happy Father's Day, Papa. So very tender. No favorite guy. No, hey, dude, what's going down, big guy? No. Happy Father's Day, Papa. And the caption reads, that's how it read. And then you've got the 3 kids. If you're sight impaired, which some of my fabulous viewers and listeners are, then it's a beautiful smiling picture of William with his 3 children. And then you have, we love you. Okay, we love you, George, Charlotte, and Louis. That's what a message looks like, right? Happy Father's Day, Papa. We love you. I mean, it's just perfect, isn't it? Because they get it. And it's interesting because it went out on William and Catherine's joint website, their Instagram account, which is the Prince and Princess of Wales, one of my favourite accounts. And they've done it on their joint account because they do things together because it's a marriage and they are a team. Harry and Meghan is not a marriage. It is a hostage situation. And I think that federal officials should send in a SWAT team and get Harry out. Because that is not a mansion. That is jail. Seriously, I'm quite horrified by what the man goes through. Now, it's worth noting, so that went out on William and Catherine's joint website, their shared Instagram handle. Meanwhile, Meghan puts this out on her Instagram. Duchess Sussex. Don't you know, I'm not Meghan Markle anymore. I'm Meghan Sussex. Harry has no platform. Harry has no platform whatsoever. So all they have, there's Sussex Royal, which makes me sick to say that because they're neither royals nor do they earn the title Sussex. That's a shared account that they haven't used since they had a massive hissy fit in March 2020 and left the UK. So that's a dead account. And then you've just got Meghan's account. So Harry's got no platform. He's got no way of communicating with the world. And it's ironic because he's supposed to be a free man now. And yet actually it's Meghan that controls the platform, Meghan that controls the messaging, Meghan that controls the Sussex PR machine. The poor guy's got no platform. And do you know something? The Mark Dolan Show has placed Harry and Meghan on 24/7 Divorce Watch. And when they divorce, there will be no money for Harry because he's got no prenup. There'll be no social media platform because she's got the Instagram, not him. There'll be no house in Montecito because that's mortgaged and that'll be gone in 60 seconds. There will be no kids because she thinks they're her kids and has already decided their future and has written emails to them every day that don't involve the father because when they're 18, she's on record as saying she wants them to go, wow, our mum was great. Harry will have no job because he's, I'm afraid, quite talentless. And there will be barely any charities because he keeps getting fired from his own charity. Well, he left Centre Barley, but that was because of a complete smoking ruin of an organisation that he put his name to. So there'll be barely any charities, no job. He'll lose the kids. And because here's the thing, he's going to return to the UK. When they divorce, he'll go back to Britain because he can't stay in America because he has no friends there and he's got no life there. It's all on Meghan's terms. So he'll be back in the UK. How does that work with seeing the kids every weekend? Good luck with that. It ain't going to happen. Meghan gets the money. She has the social media footprint and she keeps the kids. So the contrast between the two brothers this weekend in regards to Father's Day could not be more different. And we know what an excellent father William is. Let me give you an example. The VE Day celebrations, of course, that's Victory in Europe Day when the Second World War came to an end in 1945. And you've got George being introduced to war veterans by his father because he wants his son to understand, even, though he's much younger, and when he becomes king, those veterans will be gone. He wants his son to understand the weight of history that is on all of our shoulders, particularly the monarchy. He wants his son to understand the history of Britain, to understand these brave men and women who gave their lives for this country and for freedom in the West. And isn't that an amazing thing? Meanwhile, you've got Harry and Meghan plastering photographs of their kids on social media, trips to Disneyland, a very consumer exercise, and twerking in the maternity ward. It's quite shocking, isn't it? And do you know the Trooping the Colours ceremony was such a big success? And the clear message to Team Sussex is we don't need you. Because you had the royals on the balcony, you had thousands of fans outside, millions upon millions of people watching on TV around the world. The pictures were incredible. It was a celebration of tradition, of pomp, and of ceremony. Catherine looked incredible. Camilla looked incredible. Anne, majestic as ever, on horseback. She doesn't mess around, Princess Anne, on horseback. So it was like, Harry, which Harry? Showbiz is pretty brutal, right? Just like royalty, you get forgotten in seconds. Who's Harry? He's yesterday's news. We don't need Harry. We don't need Meghan. And I feel only sorry for Lily and Archie, who should be on that balcony. That is their birthright, but they're not because of their outrageously badly behaved parents. So King Charles, by the way, a lovely, lovely man, of course, our great monarch, he shared a throwback photo of himself and his sister, Princess Anne, playing on the swings to honour their late father, Prince Philip. So Philip is actually pushing them on the swings. It's a lovely, lovely moment. And there you go. So even King Charles can remember his late great father, who was a truly remarkable human being, Prince Philip. So that's quite something. And well done, King Charles, for doing that. Where is the post on social media from Prince Harry about his father, King Charles, the man that gave him life, the man that made him a prince, that made him one of the most privileged people in the history of the world? Nothing, not a squeak out of Harry in regard to his own father, King Charles. That is heartbreaking, it's spiteful, it's rude, it's obnoxious, it's deeply wrong. What's got into his head that he can't send out? If the couple live on social media, which they do, then where is the message to your old man saying, to my father, King Charles, thank you for everything you've done for me, everything you've given me. By the way, I would recommend he doesn't say to our favourite guy. I wouldn't call King Charles, the leader of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, our favourite guy, because King Charles is no guy. He's King Charles. So, but that's what Harry should have done, is sent out some official message. It can be an email to the press. It can be Instagram. It can be on the website. I don't care how it's done, but something, particularly given that King Charles is battling cancer at the moment and has had a torrid couple of years in which he's had to accede to the throne, mourn the passing of his mother and father, and yet on Father's Day, nothing from his spoiled brat son. Meanwhile, speaking of spoiled brats, nothing from Meghan about poor old Thomas Markle. This is a guy that gave her life. He spent, we calculated it on the Mark Dolan show, he spent in the region of $400,000. $400,000 to $500,000 on his daughter's education, acting lessons, private school, university, the lot. She was the apple of his eye. She was a princess long before she met Harry because of Thomas Markle. This is a woman who lives on social media 24/7. She's on Instagram. Not a squeak, nothing for poor Thomas Markle, who I don't know if you know, is now living in the Philippines. He's in the Philippines, and he's in a high-rise which overlooks a 7-lane highway. the poor man, it's a hot country, probably no air conditioning. He's up there sweating his knackers off. He can't get a wink of sleep. Environmentally friendly cars in the Philippines, zooming past in the dead of night. And this guy's looking at his phone, probably a brick phone, I would have thought. He can't afford a smartphone now. And he's looking, going, has my daughter said anything about Father's Day, given that I spent approximately $500,000 on her education? Is there anything here from my real princess, Meghan, about her 80-year-old father who won't be around forever and lives in a high-rise which overlooks a 7-lane highway populated by environmentally unfriendly cars going past very quickly? Where's the message? There's nothing. Would it kill her to send him a text, right? An SMS just saying, Dad, I miss you, I love you, thank you for everything? Nothing. Nothing from this couple, and it's so sad. And I've got to say, it means that the relationship with Meghan and Thomas and with Harry and his father Charles is as distant as ever and irreparable on both sides. And the tragedy for both Meghan and Harry is that time is running out. And when Thomas is gone and when Charles is gone, which is hopefully a long, long, long time from now, but when it happens, I can speak from experience, you don't get your dad back. You don't get your loved ones back when they're gone. So you better hope that you reached out to them before that happens. Will it happen? I won't hold my breath. Speaking of which, David Beckham, incredible guy, worth almost $1 billion now, one of the most famous sportsmen in the world, married to a Spice Girl in Victoria Beckham, who's a fashion icon with her own very, very successful fashion range. She's got dresses and skirts and blouses and all the rest of it. An amazing lady, an amazing couple. And I think she sold 100 million records for the Spice Girls. Do you want to be my lover? I want to be your best friend. So they're great. And yet we've had exactly the same situation in that family where the eldest, of course, for the Windsors, for the Mountbatten Windsors, it's Harry who's the youngest. But for the Beckhams, their eldest, Brooklyn, has married a billionairess called Nicola Peltz, whose father is Nelson Peltz, self-made billionaire, invested in many, many companies, including Wendy's, which, as we know, is Harry's favorite burger chain. Harry loves the Wendy's. He loves the Baconator. And he enjoys Dave's Big Burger as well. So Brooklyn married this young woman. She's called Nicola Peltz. And she looks to be another controlling spouse because she's married him, at which point he stopped talking to his family. They had a big falling out with Victoria because Nicola wouldn't wear a dress made by Brooklyn's fashion designer dressmaking mother, okay? If you're getting married and your mother-in-law makes dresses, you're wearing her dress. Can we be clear about that? If you're getting married and your mother-in-law is a famous fashion designer, you're wearing her dress, all right? You are. But they didn't. So it's a terrible insult. By the way, terrible thing with Brooklyn. He got married. He calls himself Brooklyn Peltz Beckham. Let me know in the comments, what do you think when the man takes the woman's name as well? That, for me, that is so PC. That is so crazy woke. I don't like it. Your name is Brooklyn Beckham. Don't dilute that. Why do these women always go after their men's names? Why does Harry now get reduced to H, my husband? What an insult. His name is Harry. And Brooklyn's name is Brooklyn Beckham, not Brooklyn Peltz Beckham. What is this fresh hell? So this guy has been on social media, and has he posted about his extraordinary father, who, by the way, has just been knighted by King Charles, which will annoy Prince Harry. And it means that David Beckham is firmly in Team Sussex. Any post, any reference to his father on Father's Day, the man that gave him everything, not just life and fame and privilege, but millions of dollars in the bank? No. 4 days ago, he was on in Instagram flogging his hot sauce. He's got hot sauce because he thinks he's going to be a food entrepreneur like his dad, Nelson Peltz. Forget it, mate. You are not fit to blow dry Wendy's hair, you prize numpty, with your hot sauce. What a hot mess your life is. Ignoring your own father. Meanwhile, all the other kids were tweeting and texting their dad to say how much they loved him, right? Romeo, Cruz, Harper. And he said, my most important and favorite job in life is being a dad. He captioned the post alongside a carousel of throwback photos. He said, I'm so proud of you all. And he said, I'll always, always be here for you no matter what. And then he says, Mummy, Victoria, thank you for doing the most important part and making me a father. There is no greater gift in life than making me a father. Happy Father's Day. I love you kiddies more than you could imagine. Isn't that just wonderful? Nothing from Brooklyn. Truly obnoxious. This on the same week, folks, that it was announced that David Beckham is to be Sir David Beckham. Truly shocking. You couldn't make it up. Another thing you couldn't make up is Gwyneth Paltrow cooking topless on Instagram. I beg your pardon. What on earth is going on? Yes, Gwyneth Paltrow shared a topless cooking video on Instagram whilst vacationing in the Italian countryside. Now, listen, that'll be a shock to the locals, won't it? They have life expectancy in Italy is amazing because they eat olive oil and they have excellent coffee. Everything's organic. There's no stress because, of course, none of them work. Welcome to Europe. And here's the thing, right? You got these old men and they're in this sort of village square, and they're drinking the little espresso and they're in their 80s or their 90s. And you would hope they're going to hit 100. Well, the problem is if they kind of look over to young Gwyneth Paltrow's villa and see a topless woman frying eggs, I mean, that's going to hasten their departure off this mortal coil, isn't it? It's like, oh, mamma mia. Are we spitting out their cappuccino? Horrified. Too much information, Gwyneth. So she's been on her little website there doing that. She stood over a stove, facing away from the camera, wearing only white pajama pants, preparing a high-protein meal of sausage, cherry tomatoes, white beans, and eggs. I don't know about you, by the way, I don't like beans. And in the video, she soaks them in water overnight and they sprout. I don't like anything that sprouts. No sprout, please. I've got a no sprout rule. She then eventually puts a top on before turning the camera towards herself. And the video was captioned, this was a Tuscan-inspired, high-protein, #boyfriend breakfast skillet. What I love about it, it's cheeky. Also, she's 52 and demonstrating that women only improve with age. She's absolutely stunning. She's a stunning, stunning lady. And her daughter, Apple Martin, said, oh, Mum, did I steal your shirt by accident? Paltrow replied with a laughing emoji. You see, it's a fun, happy family, and Gwyneth absolutely smashing it. Of course, she's the opposite of Meghan. She's a talented actress. She's won Oscars. She's a successful entrepreneur. Goop, her website is worth millions. And her videos are much better, which are very similar to Meghan's videos, except that Gwyneth can cook. That's right, she's an excellent cook. She's got a few funny ideas, I've got to say. She's a big fan of this therapy called cupping, which involves putting boiling hot cups on your skin. And if I tried to do that to Mrs. Dolan, she would clobber me. She'd knock my lights out and I'd barely recover. And also, she's famous for putting eggs in places they shouldn't be. It's a family show. I'll spare you the gory details. But Meghan, please, you'll do yourself an injury. You'll be in the emergency room before you know where you are. And try explaining that to the surgeon. How those eggs got there, Gwyneth. Crazy lady. But it's a crazy world, isn't it, folks? And it's been a crazy couple of days. I cannot wait for tomorrow's videos. So many big stories brewing and ready to explode. Couple of things. First of all, always tell me what you're loving about the show and what you don't love about the show, because this show belongs to us. And the comments are not part of the show. The comments are the show. The other thing I want to do is I want you to tell me other topics you're interested in. Because Meghan Markle, Harry, and the Windsors, fascinating. It's an endless soap opera, but there's a lot of other stories out there. So let me know if there are things you'd like covered. And I am at your service. And of course, please subscribe. Like the video if you can, because it allows the video to be seen by more people. And hit the notification reminder bell so you're alerted every time a video drops. Happy Father's Day to all the amazing fathers out there. Okay, 24 hours late, but you get my point. We weren't on air yesterday. So happy Father's Day to all of the amazing fathers out there. And I might just add, I've got lots of great jobs, including being husband. Most amazing job. The host of the Mark Dolan Show with this growing audience that we have. This amazing media revolution that you and I are a part of. But the greatest job in the world, well, it's joint. The joint greatest job in the world is being the husband to Mrs. Dolan and being the father to my boys, Elton and Bernie, who give every day meaning, joy and love. Incredible lads, and a lot more sensible and less crazy than their father. See you tomorrow at 4:45 UK time, 8:45 a.m. US West Coast, and 11:45 a.m. US East Coast, and late nights and early hours down under. See you for the next video. Bye for now.